Hi, I'm Mike Smith. I'm a comic addict. It's been 1 week, 12 hours, and 46 minutes since I bought a comic. Okay, so what's up, comic book junkies? Your host here, Mike Smith, Night Tiger Comics. And I just want to apologize to you. I haven't been putting out a lot of content. The real honest truth is, when I had time to do it, I've just opted to rather read the comic books and get into my golden age. And I've been having a lot of fun doing it. So this is going to be an old school video. It's going to be long. It's going to be a cool haul. We got a lot of golden age, silver age, cool books. Let's get into it. Let's start out with eBay purchase. Actually, this is one of the ones that I'm in the middle of reading that I bought a while ago from my comic shop. This is Wiz Comics number 20 from August 51 or 41. Actually, I really can't tell you much about it. I fell asleep while I was reading it, so I have to go back and read the first story. But I did read this one. I picked this book up from my comic shop. I did pay up for it. It is a high-grade book. Let's look at it. This is number 51 from February 1944. And this is one I've been after for a while, but I wanted a nice copy. There was a 0.5 missing centerfold copy, which I just didn't want it. I wanted to get like I said, a complete. This is like a 6.0. I paid about $150 with shipping, but great story. Oh, horror element story in the beginning with some good girl elements to it. A great, what's his name? I can't remember. What's the magician? Ibis. Great Ibis story in here. Just look at that. Skulls. And she's like a really ugly girl of the evil guy, and she goes through this doorway of beauty. Just a really cool cover. Cool book overall. Fun to read. And I love there's well thought out stories in here. There's so many like twists and turns. Oh yeah, it was a great look at that. A great, man, my mind's going blank. Spy Smasher story also. Smells great. Early golden age, wartime comic. Couldn't go wrong with this one. So that's Wiz Comics, February 50 or 44. Why do I keep saying 50? All right, moving on. So actually went to a flea market. If I'm not lazy, maybe I'll add a couple pictures here or not. So my wife wanted to go to this new flea market they were holding in Williston, Florida. It's called the world's largest flea market. And it's actually their first year. They did okay. They had 100 booths. I think they probably sold less than half. I sold my whole table in 1 hour. So I had a lot of modern books and then a lot of lower grade. One box was like Tarzan, Marvel and DC Tarzan, and some Superman books, but they were like 2.0 and lower. And then I had just odds and ends, a lot of modern stuff. So like 3 short boxes. Guy asked how much for a short box. I said 35 because I was selling them for 50 cents. He said how much for all 3. I said 75. He bought them all. Then I had a small stack of low-grade Dells and Westerns, and someone made an offer while I was looking around the flea market. I did go to another booth, and this lady had the same type of books, Dells, low-grade gold key, all Westerns. She had these 2 Charltons, and she wanted 5, and she would not come off them. And I passed, but they were pretty nice condition for Charltons. So I came back, and I buttered her up. I told her what a hard negotiator she was. And I can't believe she wouldn't budge. And I said, what did you say, $8 for both? She's like, no. I said, 9. Come on, budge a little. So she went 9. And I read this one. It was really good. Tex Ritter, number 39, January 1958. And so it was 450. This was originally, I believe, a Fawcett comic. And then Charlton took over the licensing. Tex Ritter is the father of Jack Ritter from Three's Company, who played Jack Tripper. So very cool book. I read it. It was fun. Really good. Great Charlton. Really nice condition. I love picking up these Charltons for $5 or less when they're in really nice condition. And so I got a second one. I got this Brocky Lanes. I think that was also a Fawcett book at one time. Blackjack, his horse, number 20, March 57. So some really early Golden Age, decent condition. I think they're both like VG plus, fine minus, something like that. So happy to get those. I love Charltons, and the truth is, Charltons like this, they're not easy to find, so it makes them fun. What else did I get? So that was at that flea market. I only bought those two books. And, okay, I hate when they're out of order. I should have put these in order before I started filming. So, on my comic shop, I bought this one recently, which is really cool. It's the last issue. It's kind of got a Ghost Rider ripoff in it. Jimmy Wakely. And there are very few art covers in the run. Most of them are photos. I think there's like 5. And so I watch auctions to do my research. I watch auctions a lot, check auctions daily. Everything. Sorry. So I watch a lot of Golden Age stuff, like new listings, auctions, constantly. This way I familiarize myself with different series, what books go for in the market, things like that. These Wakeleys, they always kind of have more desire. A lot of people kind of bid them up. And I never really understood why, but now I realize it's these art covers that they're going after. So I decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to collect all the art covers. So on my comic shop, checking new listings daily, and I can't emphasize that enough. Check them daily. Usually somewhere between 2 and 4 o'clock, they list the new listings, and you can find some amazing deals. So I found these two books. They were $6 each. So it's shipping and tax. They came out to $10.65. Yeah, so they were $6.40 originally. So this one had a big spine roll in. Maybe I'll put the picture if I'm not lazy up here. Number 11, and not bad. I mean, it's probably like a 3.0 the most, but still, for $6. And what year is this? This is 1951, so it's Golden Age, pre-code. Well, I love westerns, and I believe I read this. And did I read this? Yeah, I read this, and it was really fun. And what is that? I think that's a Gil Kane cover. So it's number 11, May 51. So I got 3 of them out of the 5 already. So this other one was $6.40. This is kind of a good girl cover. This one's a little nicer, probably like a VG plus. Number 10, March 51. Like I said, I read these. Really fun comics. Pre-code. $6. You just can't go wrong on that. And I have to say, my comic shop these days is I'm finding much more stuff than eBay. But unfortunately, my comic shop, they put a little disclaimer up. They haven't bought anything new collections for a month. They're not till April 20th. They're not buying any new collections. I guess they're just trying to get rid of back inventory, it seems like. So, where are we at? So I picked up a bunch of Christmas covers, which you'll see in here. Kind of getting some new stock for the annual show coming up at the end of the year that I do every year. All Golden Age, of course. So this one I had bought from my comic shop 2 years ago, actually. So I saw Jerry Jitterbug show this, number 45, December 46. It's the Christmas cover, purple. Really cool. Fawcett, Funny Animal, Hoppy the Bunny. And I always love, there's like a handful of kind of key issues in this series. There's like 3 Christmas covers and 2 War Stamp War Bond covers. So, but I bought this one like 2 years ago, but then I found another one earlier this month, or last month, March 6th. So we can tell you how old these comics have been sitting here, a month already. And this one was actually, I have the receipt right here. So it was $10.50. I don't know if that'll show up. This was listed as a 3.0. There was one 1.0 for like $5 that somebody grabbed, but they didn't grab this one. I don't understand why. So I was happy to get a second copy of that. And I don't know, maybe I can part with it for the Christmas giveaway. But I bought a bunch of doubles, you'll see here in this haul. So that's Funny Animals 45, December 46. So I picked up 2 of those. I actually just started reading this one this week and barely made it through the first story. A lot of times getting home from work, or by the time I get through my day and I sit down to read, I start falling asleep reading these books. So this next book I had never seen before, was on auction. 2 people were watching, or 1 person other than myself was watching it. It had an $8, is it $8 or $2 bid. It started at 99 cents. And this book is from May 1943, and it's number 6. And so I put in $27 in the bid, and then I took myself off the watch list because I didn't want the other person to know that I was still watching it. I wanted them to get the idea that maybe I forgot about the book. But when the auction ended, they tried to bid up a couple of bucks, and I got it for $8.50 shipped. I couldn't believe it. Now, it is missing 2 centerfolds. But I had never seen this before. So this book, from what I can tell right now, is really, really scarce. Another Funny Animal Comics, and this is the War Bond by War Bonds cover. So I straightened it up a little bit, pressed it out. The cover's attached. Just like I said, it's missing 2 center wraps. I think the 3rd center wrap is loose. I actually trimmed it a little bit because it was all tore up and frayed on the end, and slid it in there so you can't see it, and cleaned it up a little bit, and it looks really, really nice. I haven't got a chance to read this yet, but man, what a scarce book. So happy to have it. I am putting together a War Bond, War Stamp, War Loan collection, and I'm starting my annual Golden Age Patriotic live stream at the end of June this year. So great addition to that. Number 6, May 1943. I love finding these scarce books from 45 and earlier. So yeah. Funny Animals. So I got quite a Funny Animal collection going. Now I had some money. I did 2 big money money weeks where I drove to other states, like across country, basically. And so because I had a little bit of money, I said I'm going to buy me a nice horror book, nice pre-code. But I was looking at a lot of the Atlas stuff, and it's always like low grade, and they want a lot of money. Like we're talking at the low end, like 150 for like 2.0s. And I wanted something that was investable for the money that I was getting paid. Now, these are great sellers. I believe it's a couple. They're out of Canada. They're called Momo Comics. I bought from them before. I interact with them through the eBay messaging. They're really cool people. They had this book, and it's been up there a while. This is the Canadian edition of this book, and it's a Fawcett superhero. They had 79. I think 79. Let me see it. Yeah, I offered them a $10 less. They didn't even hesitate. They took it. Their shipping's a little high because of Canada, so I get that. So this ended up costing me $85 total, but it's from the winter of 48. Now the American print is from the spring of 48, but this is another horror comic. And I just want to show you how high grade this book is. Now I looked at it. Fawcett's notorious for manufacturing miscuts. So this one does have one, as you can tell from the top or from the bottom. But I looked up a lot of these copies and they're all miscut. But it wasn't trimmed. I just wanted to make sure. But that's really high grade. Now the Canadian one has this ad here that's black and white, and the American one it's colored, and it has an indicia, which this one does not. But I read this in 3 great killer horror stories in here. Look at this first one, The Book of Evil. And I may show a panel or two. So this dealing with this book bound in human flesh. Really great stories in here. I couldn't believe how the simplistic but well thought out. So I was happy to get that. And the back cover on the American one is colored. But man, this book, the American version, if you go on eBay, people are asking $500 and they're low grades, like 3.0s and lower. 100, 150, 500, 400. So I got this for 85 shipped. So great investment, I believe. Another Fawcett horror book, superhero, Ibis, which only went 6 issues. Oh yeah, this is the last issue. So what do you guys think so far about all these books that I've gotten? Let me know. So I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to inspire you, to let you know that you can go out there and you can buy, and you just got to really look. And for pretty inexpensive, you could find some really good Golden Age stuff. It's out there. Now here's another book. Now these people had 125 on this book. I have several issues and I've always gotten them for 50 or less. So this one, they had 125. I actually offered them $60 and they took it. And it's an MLJ, which is Archie before Archie became Archie Comics. The company changed their name to Archie Comics. It's superhero. And these books are really tough. So when they're low grade, and even if they're missing like centerfold or maybe 1 or 2 wraps, under $50, still a great deal. This one, complete, attached. It's missing some chunks out of the cover, but Black Hood number 13. Winter 1944. MLJ, or otherwise known as Archie Comics. Come on, man. I can't wait to read this one. Now, it is all attached, but it is really beat up. But it's not flaking. It's not, it doesn't have brittle pages or nothing like that. Just, I love experiencing these books. I imagine when I'm reading them, what the kids felt like in the 1940s when they got this book home and they were reading it. It's almost like traveling back in time when you're reading these books, with the smells, the feels, the letters, pages, the text stories, the ads, everything. It's just a great experience. It's worth every penny to me. What do you think of that one? Black Hood, 1944, man. Yes. These books is, so with tax and shipping, end up being $76. Now I don't sell books, but I always have the frame of mind when I'm buying something, I want to buy it at a price that if I was a dealer. So I don't want to buy it at fair market value. I want to buy it at least 30% below fair market value, if not more. Because then I know that someday if anything happens or if I need to sell these books, there's room for me to make some money. I hate to sell stuff at a loss if I have to in the future. But like I said, I don't sell books.
Warning, bullshit alert.
That's not true. Don't listen to that. But anyways, yeah, I don't sell, but it's smart to buy your collection at a very investable price. Now, of course, sometimes there are going to be books that you really want. They're hard to find, and you pay the fair market value, but that should be very rare. Okay, so these 3 books, next 3 books, my grandson, my wife and my daughter, there was like girls' night out in our town, down in downtown on the square. So I said, at the time I didn't have my new truck. We had one vehicle. I said, hey, go hang out with my daughter, and me and the grandson will go to the comic shop. So we dropped off the girls. We took the car. We had a great experience there. We talked with one of the workers who used to work at Marvel, and he gave some great advice to my grandson. You know how it is when family members give advice, people usually don't listen. But when it's a stranger that's kind of excited to hear what you have to say, then you listen more to him. So he pretty much told him all the stuff I've schooled him in, but it was fun. He was a cool guy. I went through the bins while they were talking. I really don't want to spend anything. I've already picked through this store. So, and I had a couple key books that I already had for like 10, 12 bucks. I put them back and I picked up these 3 books. Now, these were $2, these first 2 books, and the last one was $1. So I didn't even have these. So Marvel Tales, $2.15, a nice, I love Mike Zeck art. So nice, really high grade, like 9.9 copy of this. So great Mike Zeck cover. Is that Jigsaw, I believe? And that's 215, September 1988. It fits into my collection because I only want to collect books really that have newsprint pages, and it's high grade. I figure at $2, it's a nice add to the collection. So that was a Mike Zeck cover. Then I got 216, so both Punisher covers. This is another Mike Zeck and SpiderMan, October 88. Just a really, really high grade copy. I mean, flawless. For $2, like I say, I love Mike Zeck. So the original covers, reprinting the Punisher stories. I thought that was a win-win on those for $2 a piece. And then I bought a modern book. And this one just tugged at me. If you know me, Batman is my most favorite superhero. So it's a Batman issue. Batman Strikes is a great cartoon. And it's a Joker cover. And it's really high grade. And it was $1 and it was in Mylar already. So I said, what the heck? I think it looks cool. I'll read it. It's Batman, high grade. The Mylar alone is probably worth 50 cents. And so, yeah, Batman Strikes, Joker cover, number 28. This is from February 2007. So what did I spend on that? So that was $5. So I hardly spend any money. I don't particularly like to spend money when I go into a store if it's not really something that I'm going to be able to either prize away that somebody wants, or, like I say, have a little bit of investable book. So I thought those are pretty good. Okay, so new goal. Busting all my slabs out. I hate slabs. I hate grading. I think it destroys I think it destroys comic book collecting. Because if, let's just, for example, go to my comic shop, go to Amazing Spider-Man, go to the early issues. If you go down every listing for every issue, you're going to find that the 3.0 and higher are all graded. All of them. The low grades are pretty much not graded, but it really makes it difficult for the working average Joe to collect the ASM or Marvel or whatever comic books in better conditions, because people get them graded, then they jack up the price, and it really pushes them. People have to use their credit card to make payments, or they can't afford them at all, because this grading thing is just so nonsense to me. So I busted this book out. No, this is from 1940. It's a very scarce Centaur comic. Look it up. Centaur published only 2 years. What was it? 40 to 42, I believe. So this is Amazing Adventures number 1. Maybe I'll post a couple panels here. Man, it was worth it to bust this thing out. The colors were amazing. The story about this guy was amazing. Phantom of the Fair. The panels were just so cool. It was such early golden age. It was just, I didn't even realize how much fun I would have. So I busted it open, and I'll be busting all my other ones open. Like I said, I'm trying to just change the way I collect. I want to be a purist, and I really hate graded comics. I think they suck. And it's funny how collectors are so sensitive when you say that. They have to defend CGC or PGX or CSB, CBCS, whatever. It's like they get so sensitive and they have to defend them and protect them, and it's weird. It's really weird. Now, I know everybody has their own way of collecting, and I'm not judging anybody. I mean, you collect the way you want. You should collect whatever makes you happy. What makes me happy is freeing these books and holding them, reading them. If I ended up accidentally tearing a page or falling asleep and making a spine split, oh well, it happens. But I have fun doing it, and that's what it's all about. It's having fun with your comics. I get off on a tangent on that. Maybe I'm a little too sensitive, but I just hate CGC. So I went to a party last Saturday night. Let me get some books here because I gotta let Buster in. Hey, he opened the door. Hey, Buster B, come on in. Let me shut this door, guys. Oh, and before I move on, let me shout out some new channels I'm watching. So Higgy Pop Comics, what a crazy, crazy guy that he is. So I'm having fun watching his videos. Easy Comic Reader, love watching his show. You know, sometimes the comics are cool, but the people are cool. And that makes even more fun watching the video. Also, is it PJ Porch something Porch Puppy Comics? He does a scripture. He inspires us through the word and the gospel. I'm a Christian. I love Jesus. He's my savior. But he shows killer books too. And especially if they're like square bound, he'll show you the binding and everything. It's really fun. So those are 3 new channels I'm watching. There's probably other few. I can't really think of them right now. But so I took a truck. I had to deliver a truck to Idaho. Stopped in Missouri at Liberty. I remember Alex the Comic Order talking about a comic shop there. And actually, I looked up all the shops. One was not open yet. It wasn't open till the next day. One was permanently closed, and then this one was open. So I went in, I went through the whole store, met the owner, talked with the owner, really cool guy. Back in Time Comics and Collectibles. The lady that was there running it at the time, she's the toy lady. I don't remember her name. She was really nice. Honestly, I found pretty much the store way overpriced. Back issues were half off, but they were all pretty, really, almost everything was low grade. So I went through all the back issues to find some stuff that I thought was worth the pickup. Now, I had these 2 books already, so these would probably be prizes in the future. This one was 14, so it was 7 out of the back issue, which I thought was okay because it was high grade. Really nice high grade copy of this. First appearance of the Young Gods. I think I remember reading this, so I know I have a copy somewhere. I can't remember if it's as nice as this one. So September 73, Thor 203. And just a really nice, cool book. So I found that one. And, you know, I did find some keys and stuff, but they were like 2.0s and lower. A lot of, like, staple tears, staple pops with spine rolls. A lot of creasing. It was just... And the price was just not right. I mean, if those books were $1, I would have picked up a stack, but they weren't $1. And then this one, I think I have this, but it's just another high grade copy. This was 24, so it ended up being 12. I thought it was great. It's a Neil Adams cover, really high grade. It's got the Gates of Hell with Superman, so I thought that was cool. And it's April 71. So I thought, okay, I can pick that up. That's a decent investment. Buy something I want, something I'd want to read. First and foremost, anytime I buy something, it's because I want to read it. Even if I pick up a double, it's a book that I would read again. Let's get that out of the way. So then the bigger books. So then I went through the Golden Age. All of it was like really low grade with high prices. But on the other side, he had a Western short box. It said all Western comics 50% off. Mostly bronze stuff, one or two silver. Then I came on this book. And this book was the nicest condition of all the books. And it happened to be Golden Age. And it was half price. So it was $60 originally. This is The Texan, number 11, December 1950. I mean, a really nice copy of this. I dare to say a 4.550 copy. And it's all Matt Baker art. So cover, interiors. Now, it's not a lot of good girl stuff, but it's Matt Baker. It's really nice condition. I love my Western Golden Age books, so it's a great addition to the collection. And I thought $30 was a great price for this book. Tell me what you think. What you think about this book. So I'm happy. I haven't got to read it yet. Oh, and if you get this far, I'm hoping to put this thing out tomorrow. Tune into the live stream. I'm actually doing a giveaway. I think I'm giving away a Golden Age Harvey Western romance. I haven't gone through the box yet to determine what I'm giving away yet. But I have a book in mind. I have a double. So whatever I give away, you know it's going to be good. And Fireball, I think Fireball won the last live stream prize. And if you're watching, I will send you a message, but I'm going to send your book out next weekend so that I can send out this prize with the same one, because I live in a rural area, and to get to the post office is like an extra trip out of the way, and it's a little bit out of town. It's like almost 30 minutes from here. Okay, so the last book I picked up there, so he just got back from the con. Most of his wall books were in short boxes. He had already gone to the bank, so I was going through. I asked the lady that was running it if he negotiates. So she called him, and he said he'll do 15% off. So I went through all the boxes. I was going to buy a Star Spangled with Robin cover. It was like $175 before the discount, and then I turned it over and it said cover detached, and I'm like, even for that price, I don't want that. I don't want that kind of grade. So I found this book, and it was $75, so it ended up being $60 with the discount. It's a pretty nice copy. I dare to say probably a 4.5, maybe 5.0. Amazing Spider-Man number 48, May 1967. First appearance of the second Vulture. And I've been, now since I bought this book, and it's more on my mind, I keep seeing, every time I see it, it's going for more money than I paid for this, and a grade or two lower. So I feel very happy about this book. And I actually got to read it, guys. And you know how it is when you read these Marvel Silver Ages. They are just so fun. And this one was not a letdown at all. So it was really good. Good Ramita art inside. Oh, I'm so happy with this book. And I've been sitting here on my desk waiting to get to this haul so that I can put it up on the Silver Age Marvel shelf and let it sit there and let me look at it every time I walk in the room. So yeah. What do you guys think of that one? So this was $60. I think that was a great deal on this book. So happy with that one. Wow, we still got a long way to go.